What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with AltCoin Buzz. So we're going to talk about the market and the market cap conditions. Now at 316 billion. This is the last time we saw 316 billion for this market cap was in late November. So we've reached November levels, and November 2017. And for those of you who were participating in the market back then, you might have remembered that this time frame right here, it was already a fairly bullish time from when we kind of ran sideways in October. October was a really boring month, kind of what we've seen here in February, early March, where the market just kind of doesn't do anything, except in this case, it kind of gradually went up, whereas over here, it's gradually kind of gone down, right? So just in my mind, I'm thinking, well, so I never thought I'd see these prices again for October, but now it seems as though it's possible. So that's why you have people saying, well, maybe now is not a good time, but what coins are on your radar? Now that might be a different subject all in of itself, because that gives you an opportunity to do the research when this thing kind of does finally hit the bottom, when you get the signal inside yourself to, make that call. What are the projects that you think are the best for the long term if you're still seeking to invest? And, so that's where you have these projects that really, if we ever revisit October levels, some of the prices that I remember back in September, October, I remember Cardano was as low as 2 cents. With the way that Cardano's been falling, that would be crazy. But I would say that when I bought at 2 cents and it went to 11 cents is when I sold. So I was like, wow, 11 cents, I better sell. That was when I was kind of more willing to trade. But then when it went up to $1.65, obviously I was kicking myself in the butt saying, well, I'll never see 2 cents again. I'm not saying we're going to see 2 cents, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that 8 to 10 cent range. And I'll show you what I'm talking about with that. So right around here, right? This is late November levels. So if we're at late November levels for Cardano, it could be possible to do that, or to get it in at that price. Now, me personally, I did recently buy in at 30 cents. Am I upset about it? No. But does that mean that I'm upside down in that position? Yeah. So I put my big boy pants on and I accept the fact that I am in Cardano, which I thought was bottoming out, but it really wasn't. So, I don't have a crystal ball and I can't forecast the future, but I took a risk, and I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't think we were going to pull back to November levels, although in the back of my mind, I would say many of you have also thought that it could be potential that these projects are severely overvalued, right? Just to give you an example that we've used previously, when I was talking about GoPro, investing in GoPro at $5 per stock, GoPro is not even $1 billion company, and it's got profit margins and working products, a drone, and it's been on the market for a while. So to not even be $1 billion project, but to have Cardano here, a $4.6 billion project, and not just Cardano, it goes all the way down the line to any of these projects. Are any of these really worth more than any of these that are over $1 billion market cap even still? Are they really worth more than a project or a company like GoPro? And there's countless projects like GoPro that even have a $1 billion market cap on the stock market. So that kind of led to the discussion about, are these cryptos overvalued? But what is the technology that they're delivering? What is it that they're working on? Could it be worth more than a declining company like GoPro? Because GoPro stock was once high and now it's not. So GoPro is kind of on the downtrend. And, to invest in GoPro at these prices, it's kind of a rock bottom price. But if GoPro doesn't get it together, it could go a lot lower. But, $1 billion market cap, we don't see less than $1 billion market cap until Icon. And I said yesterday that I was looking to buy Icon at under 250, but it blew right past 250. So all bets are off on that because it happened really quick in a 24-hour period. That tells me that there's a lot more potential dip here coming. And that's just how I approach the market from my own perspective, right? And, TA guys are saying if Bitcoin doesn't reach, or people who are, been in the market for a while, they say if Bitcoin doesn't reach back to $10,000 in the next 2 weeks, then we could really be in some serious, in for a little bit more of a pullback. So that's a thought. It doesn't mean it's gospel truth that it's going to definitely happen. Because one thing that we've discovered, and I've said this about the media before, including myself being a part of this medium that I work on YouTube here. If the media says one thing, do the opposite, right? And so if a YouTuber said one thing, what's going to happen? The opposite. It's a funny joke, but in some cases it can be correct, right? Yeah, obviously in this situation, in an irrational market like we're dealing with, it's really hard to get your finger on the pulse with an irrational market. And that's what we've seen is an irrational market. We've got positive news coming out. Sure, we've got some FUD in there, but I mean, you've got all of these. We talked about that on Twitter. If we just go over to Twitter here, I'll point out some things that we pointed out here. So first tweet, that's a goofy one. Obviously, we have the Google banning crypto ads, but are you a short-term investor in cryptocurrency or a long-term investor? Where do you see the price of Bitcoin in March 2019 and March 2020? Got 129 comments, so let's go through some of these, right? Colin Skywalker, he says 58K to 30K. So if you're doing the opposite of that, you're saying, oh, well, someone said, or Skywalker said it's going up, so that means it's going down, right? But does that mean Skywalker's wrong? No, because rationally, you would suspect that as more people come into the market, less than 1% mainstream adoption, as we go to 10% mainstream adoption, possibly beyond that, you would see a 58K Bitcoin. So is his comment irrational? No, it's actually fairly logical and rational, especially for his 2020 price. You obviously know what McAfee said, which is posted here by Virtual Anomaly. I'll just go along with McAfee prediction of $1 million by 31st December 2020. I've gone through this model and it seems fairly sound. If you don't know what McAfee said, John McAfee said he'd eat his junk if Bitcoin doesn't hit $1 million by 2020. Now, I hope for his sake, for sure, that it hits $1 million. I don't even care about my sake. I mean, of course I care. I'd love to see my Bitcoin that I bought at 8,000, 9,000, and I'm probably going to buy more now that it's below 8,000. But that's just my personal opinion that I'll buy more. But if it goes to $1 million and I bought some more at under 8,000, geez, what kind of ROI is that? But for McAfee's sake, I hope he doesn't have to use junk, right? If you Top Guns think BTC will be 20, 30K, 40K, why aren't you buying now at 8K? I'm missing the logic here. Thanks. Okay, so Roman said that. That actually made sense. It's like, why are you counting pennies and nickels here at this low range if you think it's going to 30K? Shouldn't you be stacking bricks right now? And, I guess the contrary to that is, well, yeah, because if I didn't buy at 12K, 14K, 15K, I'd have more money to invest. So there's that situation where people are saying that. So if we go down here, I have nightmares of McAfee eating his junk in 2020. That's what Speed Racer said. See Steel Mom. So we'll see. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen to McAfee, right? 40,000 plus by July 2019, says Eric Green. Jack says $1 million with old boy right there. What's his name? Austin Powers. A market without this is another comment that we made. A market without integrity and courage is a lame duck. Either we evolve and do better or we fade. Time to take it to the next level, and we should all try and do our part. What I mean by that is we shouldn't just be waiting on someone else to make that go. So what's our part? Well, I'm not just talking about investing fiat into cryptocurrency. I'm talking about, like, what are we doing to strengthen this? Are you an ambassador? Are you telling your friends and family who are on the outside looking in, thinking about getting in, positive things about the market? Are you educating them with sound advice? Are you giving them bad advice? So it's not, but for me, I do hold that to other people, actually. I'm saying the people with big money, are they operating with integrity? Because many of you have even said that you believe the market is being manipulated. This is very commonly stated, that it is being manipulated. Because none of us know who these manipulators are. All we can say is, are these people acting with integrity, right? Now, I'm not going to cast the first stone or be the one to judge that, because, hey, it's not my place. But my place is to concern myself with my own business and my own financial affairs, as each and every single one of you must do so in your own life, right? You must manage your own life and family. But Yeah, I mean, these whales, are they acting with integrity, right? These people with big money. And just because they're selling, that doesn't mean that they're not acting with integrity, okay? And are these businesses, these projects that have tokens and ICOs, are they acting with integrity? And which ones are and which ones aren't? And so, that's why I bring that up, integrity. I feel as though without integrity, this market has no chance. If we have scammy, what is it, MLM stuff or pyramid schemes going on inside this market, that's a recipe for disaster. And I say courage because you need courage. You need to be able to handle the storms that happen. It's just like when you're building a business. when when you have a low month or two, are you just going to close your doors, or are you going to keep it open? Come to find out, the next month, all of a sudden, the market or your business is up because the economy's up, or whatever the case may be, right? Or is it, there's the other side to having the courage to close it down and say enough's enough, right? But in this case, I'm talking about, do we have the courage to maintain or sustain storms? And if you look at this market's history, from Mount Gox all the way from when Bitcoin went up from $200 and something to $1,000 and then went back down, we've seen this market's been in these situations and these cycles before. So this is not the first time, and it's probably not the last time this market will do something like this where it corrects hardcore. That's why if you talk to a lot of cryptocurrency veterans in this, they'll say, yeah, we've been here before. I've been through these consolidations before, and it's nothing new to me. It sucks, it's not fun, but hey, what's the upside here? And that goes back to that comment. A lot of people get really rich when markets collapse, right? So. I mean, there's always, and I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, yeah, right. How could you get rich when the market collapsed? And then someone preached some wisdom to me, and it made sense to my young little goofy butt who didn't know anything about anything back, 2008, when I was kind of dancing around with the market because the market had collapsed, and they said, yeah, now's a good time to buy Citigroup at $3. I don't know what Citigroup's at now, but if I would have listened to them, I think Citigroup even went below $1. I don't remember, but I could have bought a bunch of Citigroup, but I was like, no. And they're like, now's the time to buy. But I would have had to hold on to that for a long time. Even Ford and Chevy stock and just a whole bunch of stocks went real low in 2008. And then when I checked on them again in 2012, which was 4 whole years, it's a long time. That's how I understood this idea that sometimes you have to take this long-term perspective when you're investing. It can't just be a get-rich-quick kind of notion, because you're going to have these cycles. Even when I bought like 20 Citibank shares at like $3 each or whatever, I actually held on to them for 6 months and I sold them because I got bored, because I was like this, because I was listening to YouTube where they were saying the dollar is going to collapse, the imminent collapse, the collapse of the dollar. And I was like, oh man, I got to get out of this. And then I was looking at buying silver, and I actually bought silver. So, I mean, just having those experiences happen where you go through the process and participation, it just creates more character and wisdom that you gain to understanding, like, you won't always make the same knee-jerk reaction that you made the last time, because more than likely you've learned from it. So that's kind of where I'm at now, is because I've done things correctly and incorrectly, I can learn from those to make more successful and accurate decisions. That's why we read books and do all that fun stuff. So anyways, guys, this is Jeff with AltCoin Buzz. You can keep up with us on AltCoinBuzz.io. I was also very talkative today on Blockchain J, if you're wanting to keep up with me specifically. I did say there are literally dozens of companies building out blockchain infrastructure at the moment: Circle, Barclays, Goldman, CME. Yet FUD has many nervous. So many people are nervous, despite the fact that you have a lot of infrastructure being built out right now, right? Even if this continues to fall, the fact that the infrastructure development is happening, how shall we perceive this? Well, some of you guys were saying, but is that for the projects that we're invested in and holding right now? And that's a good question, right? Because is Google looking to implement cryptocurrency with Google Pay? Is Facebook looking to use their own token or coin? Or are they going to use something like Ripple or Redcoin? I don't know. So these are all things that we have to stay flexible with and keep our finger on the pulse. You know, kind of got to pay attention to it. Cryptocurrency is not a sport for the impatient. Technological innovation in general has taught me patience. What I mean by that is technology, the development of technology, it's you got to be flexible, you got to be patient. So, anyways, guys, it's Jeff. You can also keep up with us on Altcoin Buzz on Instagram, where we just kind of chit chat and have some fun over there. So, Altcoin Buzz on Instagram. We'll see you guys later.